Hello, in this video I'm going to go over where the best investors find their ideas and also where I found my ideas historically as well. So for context, amongst the best value investors in the world, we're talking the likes of Warren Buffett, Lilu, Monish Pabrai, all sort of have roughly the same approach. Now they each use slightly different platforms, but they've all had the same approach, which is essentially just scouring and reading through as many reports, write-ups as possible to then sort of be able to filter through and pick the very best ones. Warren Buffett has historically done this through the likes of reading Standard & Poor's manual, Moody's manual. These aren't really published nowadays just because everything's gone more digital. But when he did, he would essentially flick through a book of 2,000 pages, reading about 100 to 200 pages per day. Yes, you heard me right, about 100 to 200 pages per day, and would finish that 2,000 page book within half a year and then reread it again. That's something he used to do. The likes of Lilu, for those of you who don't know, he's sort of one of his disciples of his teachings, one of many people. And he has gone on to do exceptionally well, having run his fund at a return of 30% over 30 years. Even the late Charlie Munger had invested with him, having been deemed sort of a stamp of approval really for being a great investor. And he often mentions in his his early videos, if you can watch interviews online of him, saying that he used to sort of go through Value Line, which is sort of the online equivalent where they do a write-up of an investment. He would just constantly read through those. The likes of Monish Pabrai, he has typically read through Value Investors Club. He's quite a big fan of that because you already have filtered ideas there through sort of investors which have sort of been approved. Because for those of you who don't know, Value Investors Club is a site where it's sort of a collection of amateur/professional investors who need to be approved to be able to post something on there. And I think for context, only about 1 in 12 sort of applications get approved. And essentially you're already filtering from a relatively high quality set of ideas, and then he sort of reads through those ideas and then looks for ideas that way. So that's a pretty common way that big famous investors have sort of looked and filtered for ideas. And it's actually an approach I've been taking myself. So this year I've sort of committed to reading every single Value Investors Club write-up. That is a long report because I'm only looking to invest long. I'm not necessarily looking to short. So I'll caveat that by saying only the long write-up, only long positions. So that's about 1,000 or so write-ups over the year, which is 3 a day, which is manageable. More than manageable, to be fair. And that's like a little goal that I've set myself, perhaps one for yourselves to consider. For me personally, I also like to use the tool stockanalysis.com. Again, none of this is anything promotional or anything of such nature. It's just what I found useful. The best things in life are free. This tool is free. Value Investors Club is free. And that just gives that sort of like Value Line in the sense where it gives you a detailed breakdown. It's relatively simple and straightforward to sort of grasp all the details pretty quickly. It has a comprehensive overview of the figures I'm looking at. So what's their return on capital? I'm looking at the market cap. I'm looking at the balance sheet. I'm looking at the income statement, inside ownership and such factors. So it lets me sort of quickly sift through any ideas. That's sort of the second platform I've been doing, but I think the main one for me has sort of been going, well, actually, let me sift through these 1,000 ideas. And at the minute, I found about 3% of these ideas have been truly exceptional, where this is, again, just a ballpark estimate of sort of what I've read so far. Just for context, I'm about 60% through this year of that challenge since I've set it myself at the start of the year. And then I'll sort of go do some further digging on stockanalysis.com to sort of refine the details. If it still passes the criteria, then I might go into the SEC filings and go from there. But that might be a good way for you to start exploring how to find some sort of opportunities, whilst also honing your skills for sort of understanding and separating what's a mediocre, good, great opportunity, because you're looking through such large volumes that you'll be able to sort of pick it up quickly and see what's good and what's not as good, essentially. Thanks for listening. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you.